Is it time to go?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ashton Titus, and you're watching Discovering Florence. Hungry? Well, you can get a sandwich anywhere in Florence, but if you want to wait 3 hours for a sandwich, you can get one here at All'Antico Vignale.
Sandwich culture is huge in Florence because schiacciata, the local bread, is the only kind of bread that Florentines put salt on. Naturally, I filmed a bunch of people eating their lunch. The next stop on our journey was to take a rainy day and walk to this art museum that's not the Duomo but has religious art in it, which featured many things, including the protractor flute,
Geometry.
Ashton holding her nose,
Which project?
this really scary zombie Mother of Mary, and of course, the classic Jesus nailed to a cross, the super gross version. While all these poor schmucks had to wait outside, we got fast passes inside to a very disappointing interior. You'd think that the outside is so cool they'd have a better inside, but they focused all the outside time on the outside, I guess. But it does have this incredible dome with a huge, huge fresco of all the layers of heaven and the homosexual agenda. But that's not all. There was also this hilarious campy torture sequence of all the people in hell. Nobody had any holes though. I'd feel like I was in hell if my was that small.
Here in Florence, one of the biggest staples is this church. The Church of Santa Maria Fiore, also known as the Duomo. And oftentimes people climb up to the top of the Duomo to get a beautiful view of the city, which is why we chose today, a day when it's raining, in hopes that we can see absolutely nothing from the top.
The only way to get to the top of the Duomo is through this incredibly easy and really spacious climb. It was honestly no problem, and I was totally fine being up this woman's the entire time, and she didn't mind either. We finally made it to the top, and it was super easy and not a problem at all. Despite the amount of rain, the fog actually cleared up at the top, and we were able to see all the red buildings.
We made it to the top!
Yay!
Yay!
Only like 15 steps.
Only like 15 steps.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
But that's not all. Florence is also home to on-the-go sex machines. Did you forget your dildo on the way out? No problem. Florence's vending machines have a surefire way to get a yeast infection. And if you missed the feeling of spending $10 to go club with a bunch of Americans, Florence once again has you covered. We were stuck in the American corner where nobody was invited, which is why the room was almost entirely empty. So we went to a new place. This one was also full of Americans. Then we went to another place that was also full of Americans. As you can see, the club is completely poppin'. Everyone's having the time of their lives. Our final tour was at a museum for a man known as Galileo, who made this cool orb. Or did he? I can't remember. But it was in the museum.
To learn a little bit more about the history of knowledge in Florence, I decided to come to the Museum of Galileo Galileo Figaro.
In his museum, he came up with a bunch of different kinds of bombs, but none of them seemed to work. Was he really that smart after all? But of course, they managed to get his middle finger and they put it in the museum. Take that, Catholic Church! And to celebrate sandwich culture, our last stop was to get one big fat sandwich.